YouTube, you there? What's good? Hey, it's your boy Nate Motivation, aka Nathan Galan here, man, with another banger, man. I'm here with my buddy Christian. Man, we ready to do a major chop, man. How long has it been now?
It's been 5, maybe 6 years, maybe even more, maybe 7.
All I know is last time I cut his hair, it was about this long. And now my man came back with vengeance and says he's ready to chop it off. He's on vacation, enjoyed a good Father's Day weekend down here with his family. Hit me up and said, I'm ready. What are you looking to get done today, man?
You know, looking to honestly just chop it all off, fade the sides, you know, keep some low maintenance on the top, a little bit on the top, not too much, you know what I'm saying? But so, I know you're going to do your thing today. So
what I'm thinking, when you say low maintenance, so you really want it short, you really just want to get up and go.
That's it.
Make you look presentable.
Yes, sir.
All right, baby. Let's go. There it is.
Gone.
No mas. No mas.
Woo!
Oh, that's
going back now.
All right, guys, gonna go ahead and go in with my Tomb45 clippers, all right? And just gonna go ahead and just take off the unnecessary length. I know that we're not gonna be using none of this. Could I use shears? Yes, I could. I just like how strong our motor is and power RPMs up. It just goes through rate real quick. Just kind of debulking it. This is really not a right or wrong way how to do this specifically, because we're gonna be cutting all this off anyway. Using the parietal ridge area and some reference points along the way. I just want to debulk the area that I'm gonna be doing for the fade, make it easier for me, and this is how I feel the easiest for me. So I'm gonna find, what you want to call it, his swirl, all right, in the back, all right, and I'm gonna go from the very middle, all right, straight through, pinning the hair down with my opposite hand, combing the hair down, all right, separating the side from the top. I like to aim to the top of the sidebar, if possible, from the middle of the swirl on the back, okay? And again, because we're doing the skin fade, fingers are attached to the head. Going in with my fresh shears, special edition Sean Cuts Hair Edition ones, man. These are bangers, very good for the hand, very sharp. Love the warranty that Fresh Shears has, lifetime warranty. Check the link in the description if you guys are interested. All right, I like to work from the middle to a side, middle to the other side. And again, just staying consistent around the parietal ridge as far as setting that guideline. Try to keep your body square to the client whenever, you don't want to feel like you're reaching. Whenever you're doing shear cutting, you want to be square to your client. This is the hair I've already cut. This is hair I need to cut. It's very telling. All right, so I'm going with my foreguard all the way open, going straight through the guideline that I just created. All right, one way I like to do that technique is I'm going to feed the hair to the clipper with the comb. And we're going to meet halfway, so we're going to start at the bottom here. I'm going to rise the clipper up, and as you can see, the comb is coming down with it. And I'm going to just follow that all the way through, debulking this whole entire area. Having that parietal guideline as my guideline, basically telling me, don't go no farther than this. And as you can see, he has very fine hair. That hair just falling off. You know, take good care. You can tell he was putting that conditioner in. All right, guys, we're gonna do a mid-fade. And the way I like to identify my mid-fade, guys, if you look at the C cut, all right, I like to put my mid-fade first guideline right in the middle of that C cut. And I know people have different preferences when it comes to punching guidelines in or not. All right, for me, I prefer two. If you're a rookie, I'd much rather you punch it in with your clipper rather than your trimmer. Your trimmer will leave a little bit more of a harsher guideline, especially if there's zero gap. And meet up that initial guideline that we made on the other side in the back. Again, naturally dropping it very slightly to follow the shape of his head. And as you guys can see, we messed it up, all right? And if any side is off, as you guys can see, it was just very slightly, all right? You can always fix that. I want you guys to see that. All right, now we're just gonna clean that up. Now, I would love to know in the comment section, after you put your initial guideline in, do you guys like to put the shaver to the head right away, or do you like to save the shaver for the end? All right, I would love to hear in the comment section, what's your preference? To me, there's no right or wrong way, all right? To each their own, all right? But I would love to know nowadays, what do people prefer? Do you prefer doing it at the end or at the beginning? With my 4 shaver by Babyliss Pro, my Core FX shaver, man. What I like about this shaver, man, it's one of the only shavers that have the middle part, all right? To me, most Babyliss shavers only have the 2 shavers, all right? But this one actually has a middle one that makes it waterproof, all right? So definitely has grown on. I didn't know about that in the beginning. I got educated on that at a show. And now this shaver has definitely moved its way to my starting lineup now. All right, the hair doesn't necessarily have to be all the way stubble in order for it to eat it up. And then as I'm doing this shaver, I press harder towards the bottom to get it more cleaner. And as I get closer to my guideline, I kind of lighten up how hard I'm pressing. So that way I'm not creating myself another guideline. Going in with our clipper, no guard all the way open. We're gonna set our initial guideline, all right? Like to make our guidelines at least a finger's width. All right, guys, you don't wanna make them too narrow. All right, you want your fade to be gradient, so it's very important that you pick wide enough guidelines. I like to use my offhand to fold this ear down. That way I don't clip them. The worst place you could clip a client, I'm telling you right now, is the top of his ear. That thing takes a while to stop bleeding, trust me, I've done it. Again, these are just some techniques that I use to stay error-proof. All the way open, now we're gonna drop it halfway, work on this side, and slowly working that first guideline out. I like to put my first guideline in and take it out. That's one thing I love about this MIM blade, man, kind of eats through the hair, all right? And then I'm gonna drop it down. You can go all the way closed if you feel comfortable, or you can go 1 notch before, all right? If you're just starting this technique, again, it's open, middle, second to last close, then close. All right, if you feel comfortable, go all the way close. To this day, you know what I mean, especially when I haven't cut someone in a while, I'll go to the second last one close, work that line a little bit, and then close it all the way, and next you know it's out, as you guys are seeing. And as you guys can see, that first guideline's out of there. When I do taking out my initial guideline, I do this step all the way through, and then I focus on the side. Some people like focusing on one side at a time, all the way through. In the beginning, I like to put my ball guideline in, my initial guideline in, and then I take those 2 out, and then I just do the fade sides by then. I'm coming in right now on a day off just to do this transformation cut. Why? I haven't did one in a while. Why? Because things started feeling a little bit redundant. Want to feel fresh. Why not cut someone that haven't cut their hair in 5 years and they inbox you? You know what I mean? All right, guys, now we're going to go in with our 3 guard. Why? We initially went with our 4, so we're going to work our way on down with our 3, all the way open, going right underneath that growth we got. I'm going to close it all the way. Come underneath that, and I'm just gonna fade my way right on down. One thing I love about these guards, all right, very similar to the Tomb45 guards. You see how you got the kind of scoop in the guard, all right? So it's almost gonna go up and lift the hair up and feed it to the blade. Shout out the Babyless, man. Taking our 2 guard. All right, if you guys haven't noticed, the guards are color coded, all right, making it easy for you to get them from your station. All right, 2 guard all the way open, right underneath what we just did. And we're gonna close it all the way. And as you guys can see, man, the fade already fading. I'm going in with my 1.5 guard. Anything that's 0.5 for me, I like to start in the middle, all right? So I'm gonna go right underneath the 2 close with the 1.5, halfway. Now we're going in with the 1 guard, all the way open. Using the corners of my teeth, just knocking out some dark areas that I see. Now you can see that bottom line is getting more faint and faint. And that's one of the benefits I like about fading down. I'm able to control the gradients of my fade a whole lot smoother. All right, I just dropped it halfway. All right, coming right underneath that one right there. Going all the way close. And now coming in with my 0.5 guard, Babyless Pro Premium guard. All right, just, again, it's all about preferences, guys. I just really enjoy this guard. All right, as you can see, started with all the way open just so I can knock out this last little bit of fade line that I have here. And we're gonna hop over to the other side and repeat all these steps again. Again, some people like to skip guards. All right, for me, man, sometimes I just like to play safe than sorry when I fade down using my corner. One thing I love about the Tomb45 clipper, man, is the ability. One thing I love about the Tomb45 clipper is the ability to drop the RPMs. Especially with me taking out this last line, I like to drop the RPMs on the clipper, using my corner. All right, and to me, it takes out my bottom guideline seamlessly. And don't be scared to use your mirror. Make sure you're not just trusting your eye. Again, being up all up on them, your eyes can get blurry. So use your mirror. I can see a little dark areas right there and right there that I can touch on. All right, but it's a great way for you to identify any dark areas. Use the corner of your clipper, all right, to get rid of those dark areas. But just don't be dependent on your direct eye shot while cutting only, all right? Recalibrate your eyes, look at the mirror. I'm gonna go ahead and just knock out this face here, and then we're gonna tap the top. All right, I'm tired of looking at it. He don't want it on his face no more. All right, so we'll go ahead and just chop suey this thing, nice and simple. We're just gonna keep the goatee and the mustache.
Yeah.
All right. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and let go of the top. All right, as you can see, it's still long. What we're gonna do is we're gonna connect the top to the sides. Let me show you exactly how we do that. All right, gonna re-wet the hair. If you need help, just go to where the person's nose is at. All right. Again, the line doesn't have to be perfect, and as you can see, the long hair hangs over. But guess what you did in the beginning of the haircut? You set that guideline of hair, right? So now we're gonna take this hair and match up with that guideline. And if I need to recheck myself, all I gotta do is raise it up and find the guideline right underneath as well. All right, keep it going, straight to the chest. Again, like I said, we're gonna take it straight across, because again, he wants a low maintenance cut anyway. If this was a different cut, if he wanted more of a slick back, we probably would have angled his hair down. All right, but being as though he wants a low maintenance up top, we took it straight across. Are you taking the time out to record content? Are you taking the time out to schedule clients that need this type of cut? Are you taking the time? And if you're not, hold your opinion to yourself. You know what I mean? But for those of people that are, man, don't let those negative people stop you, man. Keep rocking out, all right? Because someone out there that's looking for value, man, is looking for you. When it come in, he wants some more texture in his hair because he wants a messy look. So you can see my point of hair there, and the hair's already falling off here. So I'm gonna come right here, and I'm gonna make jagged inconsistencies to create texture. You can see the hair already cut versus the hair I need to cut. You can see straight through it. Watch, I can bend this hair down. See the hair that I already cut right there? Now you see the hair that I need to cut? The hair will tell on itself. Again, there's creating inconsistencies in the hair. And you may be asking, well, how big of partings are you taking? I like to take a combs width parting. All right? So at least a combs width. However wide your comb is, that's how wide I like to take my partings. All right, guys, I'm going in with the Tomb45 Indestructible Clay, man. It's a natural matte finish, has a strong hold, activated with water, man. It's one of those products that even after it dries up, if you want to reactivate it, all you gotta do is put water in it. And I feel as though this is a great product for his hair, especially because he is gonna wear more of a messier look on top. All right, get up, go, put some of this in, and be able to rock out for the day. All right, guys, going in with medium heat, medium air. All right, and just going forward with it first. Got it going forward. Now I'm just gonna start scrunching it up to get more of that messy look, all right? One thing about that indestructible clay, it swells up the hair with heat, all right? So it's gonna bring the texture out even more when applying the heat to the matte finish already. And guys, as you can see, he's already getting that messy look already going. All right, guys, gonna go in for the C cup. All right, we're not gonna do no sidebars or anything like that. Keep it nice and clean for my boy. All right, way I like to do my C cups, I like point A, point B, point C, right? Obviously, we're not taking it all the way down to our needle, all right? But I like to have those reference points, all right? So that way I'm not going all too far in, all right? So I like to tap it right there in the very beginning, all right? Kind of know where I'm going. Again, I don't have any hair there, all right? But then I can work my way up and meet those two right in the middle.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's exactly what I was looking for.
Check him out, check him out, check him out. Let's go.
Damn it, Tito. Another one?
All right, guys, that's a wrap, man. I feel as though we just knocked 5 years of his life off of him, man. What you think about it?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling fresh. I'm feeling rejuvenated. You know, I feel 5 years younger for sure.
Let's go, man. I truly appreciate you, man. That's it for us, man. It's a big transformation cut from 5 years hair growth now to a messy top, low maintenance cut, skin, ball fade on the side, man. If you guys got value out of this, man, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, man. Share this with a friend, man. I appreciate you. God bless you. See you on the next one.